Hello, good morning everyone. I'm gonna try to catch up with what I missed yesterday. I finished like a little bit early because once more it feels like right now like it's the, wow, like during summer basically the mornings like the sun rays up earlier, and it seems like my kids are actually picking up on that, and as soon as they see like kind of light they kind of wake up, like compared to during the winter where the light usually is darker and becomes the day becomes lighter a lot later. I don't know if that makes sense, make like any sense, but yeah. Okay, so I was just like trying to fit that in. Like you can see, I already did like a small end in my sketch of where I wanted like those things to go. And one thing that I'm gonna do is just fill those in. That's the tricky part. And in this case, like, topological actually works. I'm just gonna activate it not with this, but with this. So now it's like when I press smooth, it's but I think I'm gonna activate it even for that. So in theory, like, it's affecting only the topology that I'm touching, and not like the opposite back wall. So I'm not pulling from it. Okay, I'm just gonna shut it off once I'm further away because it's just slowed down my brush and it's kind of annoying. So instead of lowering the subdivisions, I'm just like slowly increasing my brush intensity, because this could be like another way to go, like to destroy mainly the big farms, and then I'll go back at subdivisions level 4, and then wait, am I? Yeah, I'm kind of destroying my detail right now, but it's all right. As long as this is actually clean, I'll be able to go back and just resculpt it just a little bit later. But yeah, I kind of forgot what I was saying. Yeah, you can go lower to you can go lower just to erase most of the big forms, and then you can go back in a little bit higher, and then I think this whole thing needs to be moved a little bit more forward. I destroy some of them my details, so that's why I'm going back. And since I changed like the proportions of the character just a little bit, I'm just like revising the whole. I'm just revising the whole thing, so so I'm gonna try creasing by angle. Oh, wait. Just gonna do a split it in first. Okay, then crease. That should be good. And let's go for 3. I'm gonna be adding some and removing some. leave it there and okay. So if I try subdividing this again, then it starts to be a lot smoother. The only thing I'm gonna change is like I'm just gonna polygroup it by angle. Well, I'll try and isolate this top thing. I just want it to be like super smooth, and right now I feel like there's a bulge in it. So or maybe if I do polish, oh yeah, it seems to work. Very crisp. Does it work? No, I'm not sure. If I go for higher, we'll try to figure this morning the best way to do this. But like I mentioned before, I'm gonna try to put a polygroup on every angle, so at least I can isolate the top and just play with the top without affecting the rest, or actually mask the rest. So polygroups by normals. Okay, 5-degree angle, 15, 10. I'm going to try to find the magic value, 14. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go for 15. Group by normals. Well, first I'm just gonna, because you saw like I like in between, you know, in between polygroups, like those small lines, which, you know, they're kind of annoying. I'm just gonna go with 20 instead. We'll see if I can actually Peaks and Valley. We're gonna try the polygroup it just to see if actually it helps me. So if I put one ear, whoops. For now, I will like try only like to go with this, since it's the top one that I want. Okay. Yeah, more or less. But at least that's a good start. So yeah, the next step will be isolate those, and then I'll just use the wait. Just gonna delete IR so I can use my Z modeler, and then that's how I'm gonna assign my polygroups. I just want it to be a row polyloop. Polyloop flat. So at least okay, next step will be subdividing this thing. Yeah, I think it's alright. Now I'll just replace it. Remove that. just for print's sake, I might just fill in that cavity, so it's not like something. Coffee time. So I'll just do like a small mark inside, and isolate, so I got like an idea of how much I need like to fill in and where to start. So and I'm gonna put more than I need, just to be sure I'm really like pushing through, and my vent meshes. So from there, I just want to be sure like I'm looking at it, but I just want to be sure I'm filling up the cavity. Yeah, that's it. Just a little bit more. Then I'll go back and just remove what I don't need. Yeah, I think that works. So how do I duplicate something that already got subdivisions? Well, that's the thing, like, there's no secret in there, but I mean, like, one of the things that I do, because sometimes I get like this thing that, if you work on a piece and get a lot of subdivision, a lot of detail, and then you duplicate it, and then you start moving it with transpose, for some reason, like, everything will start shifting, almost like if there's like a hidden mask on top of it. And that's one of the things, like, I'm currently avoiding with this thing. Sorry about that. It's just my phone keep shaking in my pocket. Okay, so yeah, what I was saying was just like, I'll do a duplicate, but yeah, like I've said, I got 6 subdivision levels, and if I move it, like, sometimes like it won't work. Well, at the highest one, usually it works, but let's try it just to see. But if not, then I will just like do delete lower, and then place it. And once it's placed, then do reconstruct subdivisions right over here. Reconstruct subdivisions. So I would bring back my 6 levels of subdivisions. I'm just gonna reveal this. This back part seems to be a little bit too high, so once more I'm gonna shift it a little bit down. That's that's one of the great thing with, you know, with doing this, since I started pretty much like a clay kind of approach, which I post a character and now I'm detailing it. I'm using like those parts as reference for measurements. So like I'm looking at how it's placed from each side and how it should fit in. And right now, like those parts usually like they're like fully extended, they don't really like bend or squash like a bicep. So yeah, in that region that would be pretty much the same thing. So I'm just like trying to have the same distance between the butt cheek and then the rest of the leg, so like the character makes more sense. I'll definitely need like to work more on that butt cheek. It almost looked like a balloon. trying like to figure out the placement of those fans, like just to be like you know, interesting for the eye. That I wanted like to really they just don't look functional, they look, you know, pretty as well. So I'm trying to see if I can make this work. One of the things that is like kind of annoying right now is the light. Because I want to see like the under butt cheek, and with this it's kind of harder. So I'm just gonna, just for the speed's sake, we'll isolate only that part. So now it kind of worked. And for here, just to remove like most of the bulge I get like in there. I will like definitely, you know, work a lot more on the whole butt crack, and because right now I feel like it's way too deep, but for now I think it's, as reference, that's good enough for now. It's only this, like from this angle that kind of works. From the inside one, it's not too bad. Maybe I could just make it like a little bit more rounder, just like if she was like more muscular. Yeah, a little bit like that. So I think it's not too bad. I'm just gonna slightly like change the angle of this so it's more pleasant for the eye, because right now, like if you look, you know, design wise, you get like, you know, all this silhouette going along the, you know, I'm just gonna like this, like going, we see like all those nice variations, but for here it's like we got like something that we start over here, and then we got like this straight line, and then boom, we got that. And I kind of don't like that. I would rather like have this like pushed in a little bit more, so at least it's picking up on those front you know, kind of things, and then, you know, it's round and then goes in and then goes out and then goes in. So I'll just like push my leg a little bit more inside in that case, if it makes any sense. No, not really. I'm just gonna undo that. still, for now, I think I'm gonna leave them like that. Okay, so I'm just gonna oops, just gonna lower that number. And okay, it's so much easier to play when it's like this to play with. To have like a nice, straight and even kind of strip. It's coffee time. Right now I'm picking up my parts for to build a new computer, and yeah, it should be like crazy fast. And I think like quick save won't allow anymore like some kind of a coffee sip, because it will be so fast. But we'll see. We'll have to make some time. Okay, so right now I'm trying like to have like an even straight line and the same thickness from top to bottom. I still need like to go in and edge polish that thing to be sure it's clean and smooth. So now it starts to be pretty smooth, so I'm just gonna do another part. Okay, maybe not this one, but yeah, just a small one, and then I will bring back my corners. And we'll check how it looks on the model. Okay, it's buried pretty deep. It's pretty much the same thickness as the other one, which is a good start. And then I'm just gonna realign while I can. So right now, I don't think I'm gonna do man, I'm losing my thoughts. Uh, I'm gonna do the rest of the thickness. I think I'm gonna, because right now I got like strips in between and stuff like that, and I don't want to get rid of that. So I think I'll just like move on, and then do those things first before I start like erasing that detail on the former mesh. So that's one of the main reasons why I wanted like to be thicker. It's just like because this thing like underneath will go like, that will be my like kind of layer 0, where all the, you know, the suit is actually wrapping. Then you have like this thing, which is the second level, and then like the third one is gonna be this with the air vent. So that's where I'm actually going with this. So only 3 minutes left. I'll try just to finish this one at least. So okay, so okay, well, maybe not half, but same. By the way, I apologize for this UI. It's kind of, you know, kind of suck. I'm just gonna remove that and then input like a specific value instead. Okay, and then we'll go F. Okay. And then we'll try, because right now you see like my line is not like perfectly straight, so I'm just gonna do like a little bit of a smooth. I know that I'm like losing my corners, but that's no big deal. I'm gonna bring them back. Right now you don't see it because I press on the keyboard, and I used to have it like on my UI and it's like at the bottom over here, but I'm using like this thing like all the time, action curve. So I'm just gonna leave it like open like this, so at least you guys know when I'm using it or not. But it's super good to do like pointy things. I'm using it with the move brush, so if I want to do like a corner, it's just like picking up like almost like one vertex or two, instead of having like some kind of soft selection on many vertices. So okay, this part. Okay, sorry about that. So this would be like my other part. So I'm just gonna pull it out. I just want it to be slightly on top of the under surface, but not going through uh, the red ones. So I'm just gonna lift it up even that. And if I wanna, because like for this you see like now it's starting to float and all, but if I wanna change it without rebuilding it, the only thing that I did is just like to mask this area, and it would just be pushing like this. Right now it's messy because it follows a certain angle, but I know that it won't be sticking out as much as this. It would be like probably just a little bit like that, and I know that those parts is going to be like inside of the leg, so we'll never see them. So it's just like to help out to have a quick fix. And yeah, so I'll just wrap this up. See, like over here I did a corner, but I didn't have to. Okay, so this is it for now. So yeah, I will continue this next morning, and while I see it, that's one of the things. Like sometimes I apologize if I'm repeating myself, but sometimes when I see stuff before I finished, then I'll start to get them in before I finish. So the next time that I pick up my sculpt, I like some kind of design ideas already laid out. Because with this kind of technique, if I'm doing this like already, when I'll go back, I'll have like a fresh eye, so I'll know exactly if it makes sense or not. Okay, so take it easy everyone, and see you tomorrow. Bye bye.